When you talk about state capture, and this is a very serious issue, the judiciary is not under state capture. We have a judiciary that is functioning at 45%. This is courtesy of a few judges, a few magistrates who are truthful to the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. What we don't have is a truthful Chief Justice. What we do not have is a truthful administration in the judiciary. What we do not have is good leadership in the judiciary. I would say this because this week, Mr. Mangicho, the Environment and Land Court across the country, retired to attend a conference at Mola University in Eldoret. The notice for the same was given last week. Do you know what is going to happen to the cases which was slated to happen this week? Those cases are going to be heard sometimes in 2025. The leadership of the judiciary is the weakest leadership that I think we've had in several years now. We have a Chief Justice who believes more in ceremonies and pedantry instead of delivering substantive justice to people. Because if you want to do conferences, you can do them in the afternoon. Go through your course list as a judicial officer, run through your matters in the morning and attend the conference. We support matters to do with climate change, arresting climate change, dealing with matters of carbon credit. We would want all of us to learn and understand. But when you collapse cases slated for hearing in November, from the 25th to 29th, for example, because you are attending a conference, yes, yet these dates were given in 2023, it tells you that you are not interested in substantive justice and you are running a very disorganized society. So to answer your question, the judiciary is not under state capture per se. We have a judiciary that is functioning at about 45%. It's the best performing organ because the executive is about 30%, Parliament is about 10%, because Parliament, truly speaking, now has been captured by the executive. Parliament is prosecuting bills at the instance, at the behest of the executive, at the behest of the presidency. That is where we are as a country. It is a problem that probably will be resolved into the near future for Parliament. Vote out these people who are dancing to the tunes of the executive and party bigwigs. To the judiciary, as we continue to recruit the Chief Justice, judges and magistrates into the future, we need to look for people with a track record wherever they've been, people with a spine and people who are truthful to the Constitution and the law. They are allowed to make mistakes, but they should remain truthful to the Constitution and the law. But what we have today is very good judges and magistrates, a few of them. We have a few of them who are extremely corrupt, but we have the weakest Chief Justice, I think, in the last 13 years or 15 years. Mutunga, Maraga, they did their part and they were very strong. They believed in an organized judiciary. But Lady Justice Martha Koome has done this country a disservice for majoring in ceremonies, majoring in occasions, in luncheons, and minoring in delivering substantive justice to the people of Kenya. Thank you so much, Mangicho and viewers of Power Play. The Parliament, which I rate at 10%, that is 10 out of 100, is a perfect reflection of the Kenyan society. If our Parliament is bad, that is how bad the Kenyan populace is. It is for this reason I saw Senator Kisumu giving out 200 shillings the other day to voters who are queuing. I don't know what was the purpose of the 200 shillings. I don't know whether this was meant to buy sugar. I don't know if it was meant to mobilize people to attend a meeting. But I saw a old senator, a professor, dishing out 200 shillings to the voters. I don't know whether this was his salary. I don't know if this was money given elsewhere for facilitation. So the problem that we have is the voter queues receives 50 shillings. I was happy at least they received 200 shillings last week from the Kisumu senator, a professor. When you receive money and you go and elect a person for 100 shillings, 200 shillings for a county, this will probably translate into maybe 50 million in the long run, because this is something that you have to replicate across the county. A salary of a senator is 1 million shillings per month. In 12 years, that is, in 12 months, that is about 12 million shillings. In 5 years, that is about 60. So you can give out your entire 5 months salary to the constituents because of handouts. That means you would have to find ways of recovering your money. One way of recovering this, you take a few millions to impeach somebody when it comes to parliament, or not to impeach that person. Be that a governor, be that a deputy president, be that a president, you would have to recoup your money. So the problem that we have in the country, in our parliament, is a problem of Kenyans. The parliament we have is as good as the voter. The voter has collected money from these people. These people are now have to recover. And the problem is not going to be resolved in the next election. The problem has to be resolved now by Kenyans saying, we want CDF to function optimally. We want county funds to function optimally. We do not want a shilling from these members of parliament, from senators, from cabinet secretaries, because the public coffers that we give them is a trust fund, which is supposed to be used to the benefit of the people of Kenya, as by the annual estimates, as by the Appropriation Act, as by the Public Finance and Management Act. Kenyans have to say no to handouts. If a member of parliament, a senator, a state officer has to support a funeral, has to support a fundraiser, it should be voluntary. We should have the institutions in this country functioning. But what have we done? We've made sure that the Higher Education Loans Board is not functioning. We've made sure that the CDF is not functioning, so that you look for your MCA, you look for your MP, you look for your senator to make phone calls and say, I assisted Mr. Mangicho Mola to get a loan. In fact, this is a country which has about 10 systems of loans. You even have some institutions like Equity Bank with wings to fly. You have Kenya Commercial Bank, you have Cooperative Bank, but we still have thousands of students who do not afford to go to school because they cannot get scholarship, they do not get support. How comes we have all these institutions giving loans and giving grants, but we have so many students, very deserving cases, missing out on them? It is because our parliamentarians have ensured that our systems are not functioning, so that we go to them, so that they make phone calls and they ensure we are assisted, and they take credit for us benefiting from what is rightfully ours. That is why I have said there's a problem in parliament, but the problem in parliament is a reflection of the society we are in. The voter is the biggest contributor to this problem, and the voter must make a resolve today that I will not collect a bribe, I will not collect any money from any member of parliament or senator. I want the senator, the member of parliament, to oversight, to do representation, do legislation, so that the systems in this country and institutions are functioning, so that we all benefit and we don't need to beg anybody to give us handouts so that we elected them. There is an option of recalling members of parliament. There is an option of recalling members of the county assembly. You can impeach a governor, you can impeach the president, but this is going to be a very lengthy process. The best thing to do is to summon a member of parliament. The law allows the voter to summon a member of parliament, an elected leader, and read the Riot Act. That one you can do. If the leader doesn't respond, you can pursue the proceedings of recalling under the law. It will take a little bit longer, but ultimately you will succeed. Hopefully it will not go to court, because if it goes to court, then the thing is going to be protracted, because courts are where cases take longer to resolve. But 5 years is not a long period of time, considering that 5 years isn't a long period of time. But as you've said, there are other mechanisms. You can summon your leader, read the Riot Act, you can recall the leader. If you think that the leader has performed dismally, I think there is so much we can do as a voter by demanding accountability from our leaders within the 5 years. If they can't perform, we can recall them. And I hope that when we recall them, there shall be no bottlenecks from the court. And if we do not go for the option of recalling, if they're average, we can give them 5 years. At the end of 5 years, then we send them on retirement. We retire them completely because they are unable to perform. But as I have said again, the problem with the voter is being lured. The problem with the voter is thinking that 100 shillings, 200 shillings is good enough. It is not good enough. These are things that we must reject, even if it's 1,000 shillings, if it's 10,000 shillings, because these are things that are going to harm the future generation. If money for a school are stolen, or if a classroom, a substandard classroom is done today, it means it's going to be done again next year. Money which could have been used purposely to better the education standards of every school, in every hamlet, every village in this country, if they are misused, we are not just affecting the people of today, we are also affecting the future generation, because we need to be expanding these facilities as the population increases, even as the education system changes in this country and calls for more facilities, calls for more equipment.
Thank you.